Good evening, America, and good evening to the world watching Washington tonight. This is not just another week in politics. This is the sound of a presidency in full motion, unapologetic, unrelenting, and rewriting the rules of power in real time. Security lockdowns, skies closing over rogue nations, troops in the streets of the Capitol, pardons, threats, investigations, and the final nail in the coffin of the old regime's legal warfare. Buckle in. Here's what you need to know right now. It began with gunfire on the streets of Washington. National Guard specialist Sarah Beckstrom, 20 years old, murdered in cold blood. Her partner, Andrew Wolf, fighting for his life. The alleged shooter? Ramanullah Lokhinwal, an Afghan national whose asylum was approved under this very administration, but who, officials say, radicalized right here on American soil. President Trump didn't mince words, an act of terror. Within hours, 500 additional troops flooded the Capitol. Then came the hammer, every single asylum decision frozen indefinitely. Afghan passport visas paused. No timeline, no apologies. In the East Room, the president stood with the grieving families, voice cracking only once. Your loved ones will never be forgotten, and this will never happen again. While D.C. mourned, the president turned his gaze south, way south, in a midnight post that rattled the hemisphere. Effective immediately, the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela is closed in its entirety to airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers. Caracas screamed colonialism. Maduro suspended all U.S. deportation flights in retaliation. Trump didn't blink. Sources say the Pentagon is quietly gaming out contingencies, including something no one wants to say out loud yet: boots on the ground. Further south still, Honduras is holding its breath. With the presidential election days away, Trump issued a blunt warning. If his preferred right-wing candidate loses, every dollar of U.S. aid disappears overnight. And in a move that stunned the region, he announced he will pardon former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernandez, the man currently serving 45 years in a U.S. prison for narco-trafficking. Message received: choose the right friends or pay the price. Across the Atlantic, the president's Ukraine peace plan is hitting brick walls. Kyiv's fractured politics, Moscow's battlefield gains, and Zelensky's inner circle pulling in opposite directions. Trump's envoy is still shuttling between capitals, trimming a 28-point proposal down to 19, searching for the one lever that finally ends the bloodiest war in Europe since 1945. No one said peace would be pretty. Back home, the temperature is Arctic and rising. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has weaponized the Pentagon against 6 Democratic lawmakers, led by Senator Mark Kelly, who posted a video telling troops to refuse illegal orders. Hegseth's memo was one sentence long: find them, investigate them, bring them in. Critics call it authoritarian. The White House calls it Tuesday. The media isn't faring better. The new Media Accountability section of whitehouse.gov went live this week, a public rap sheet naming and shaming CBS, The Washington Post, MSNBC, and others as repeat offenders of journalistic malpractice. Every alleged lie, every loaded headline, archived forever. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt smiled at the podium. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. And then the news every critic prayed would never come. Fulton County, Georgia, has officially moved to dismiss the last remaining criminal case against Donald Trump and his allies, the sprawling 2020 election racketeering indictment. The prosecutor's filing reads like surrender. The case is over. From the Mar-a-Lago balcony, the president posted 2 words: total exoneration. Minutes later, another announcement: Nearly 70 Biden-era executive orders wiped out with the stroke of a pen. More are coming. The regulatory bonfire has only just begun. This is not a quiet administration. This is not a cautious one. This is a presidency that wakes up every morning looking for a wall to tear down or a wall to build, whichever keeps America first. Love him or hate him, one thing is undeniable. The era of half measures is dead. Washington is locked down, skies are closing, allies are being rewarded, enemies are being warned. And somewhere in the Situation Room tonight, the next move is already being drawn on the map. You're watching history, raw, loud, and in real time. Stay with us. This is Your Name/Outlet. Good night and good luck.